Hello, I've literally just walked in a couple of minutes ago. I've changed my top and that's all I've had to do because I was wearing everything else that I needed to wear. So I am going to try and do another sort of 5k-ish, half an hour type run. I have about an hour and a half before I need to go out for Shabbat. So if I do, 40 minutes plus the, warm-up cool down, that should give me just about enough time. My stomach's feeling a little bit funny. I've eaten a lot today, but I've not drunk very much. I've tried to drink a bit more sort of in the last hour, but it might be, too little, too late. My knees have been fine the last few days, although I did just bang my left knee, which is my bad knee, on a chair. So obviously not ideal, not the cleverest thing to do. But whatever, we're going to be close to home. I'm just going to go to the park and back and, if I need to stop early, that's fine. I think it's more about doing something. I feel like I haven't done much in terms of strength training, nowhere near as much as I wanted to. It's been a busy week. I've been very tired. I've not had much time, but it's 10 days away now. So we gotta get cracking. I'm very full. I feel very full. So yeah, this run may be cut short from, however my stomach is acting, but let's just go for it and do what we can. I'll speak to you after. Oh, it's just stopped. I don't know if you could hear that, but that rain started after I got home. I wish it had been like that when I was out. I wasn't going to film now, but I was just trying to capture the sound of the rain. Anyway, I don't have super long, so I'm going to shower because it's needed. And I will try and speak to you after, but otherwise on Sunday maybe. Or tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. Can you hear it? Oh, it's beautiful. Finally rain. It's about time. Anyway, I got a shower. Hello. Okay, we really don't have very long, but we're going to do our best. I'm totally ready to go. So I'm going to talk and then leave. This morning, I already knew that I was going to go for a run. I made myself prepared. It was great. And when I left for work, it was pouring down and it was so wonderful. We have not had rain in so long. And I was so happy and I was like, this is brilliant. This is going to make this evening's run so much fun. But by the time I left work, it was nice weather, quote unquote. So that was a shame. It wasn't too hot, but again, the sun, whenever I was not in the shade, I could really feel it on my skin. And I didn't put on sun cream this time, which maybe wasn't the wisest idea, but I didn't. And I could just feel the heat of the sun. And when I was in the shade, it was fine. But when I started running, within a couple of seconds, at first I thought a bird maybe pooped on me or something because I felt a drop on my skin. And I was like, I really sincerely hope that that's a drop of rain. And it was. And I think it rained for less than the first kilometer. Before I got to the park, it stopped raining. But while it was raining, it was pretty heavy. Not as much as before, when I got home, but still pretty heavy, which I was thrilled about. But then when it stopped, I was like, oh, come on. And then it didn't happen again for the rest of the run. So that was a shame, but hey ho. Once again, I did the first kilometer outside of the park, then I did 2 kilometers in the park, and then I did kilometer 3, I sort of headed back home, or kilometer 4, I guess, because my stomach was funky. It just felt so heavy and full and I could feel the food in it. It just wasn't a nice experience. And also throughout the run, I was burping. It was just not comfortable. And I just thought I'd rather be near home. I do want to do 5 kilometers, but let's at least head back home. And I did come back home, but then sort of did lots of side streets near my house. So I still did get to 5 kilometers, which I'm very happy about. And I absolutely could have kept going if I didn't need to come home and use the bathroom, but also if I had more time. If I didn't have to worry about time, I would have pushed through, I'm sure. My knees were absolutely fine, knock on wood, so that's good. Quick look at the breakdown. I did 5 kilometers in 35 minutes, 47 seconds, average tempo of 7:07 per kilometer. It's interesting to me that this 5k wasn't even in my top 3 attempts. I wonder what my best 3 5ks were. I don't think I can see it. Okay, that's not important. Wow, my first one was really quick. My first one was 6:29, and I did go downhill for quite a bit of that, but then I did also go back uphill, so I don't know. That's crazy. I can't believe that was 6:29. Then it was 7:15, 7:17, 7:30, and 7:02 for the 5th. I did know I sped up for the 5th. I could feel that. Once again, I have no idea why it's showing so many dips. I did not stop running. The only time at which there should be a dip is here towards the 5 kilometer mark, and that's because I had to try and push through some people. But even then, I didn't slow down hugely. I just had to take a couple of side steps rather than running. Listen, it wasn't perfect, but I'm really glad I went out there and just did it. Again, just the fact that I can squeeze a run in on a Friday evening. Obviously, we're now getting closer towards winter time, so it'll be less possible. But the fact that I can do that is nice to know. I still haven't sat down and made notes about race day because I've just not had time. It's been so busy. But my plan now is one more run Monday afternoon, and then that's it. that is it, which is crazy. And I really need to pick up the strength training because I've not done anything, as I mentioned earlier, and I want to get on it before race day. I think I want to be doing it up until the Friday, and then I'll give myself Saturday to properly rest, and obviously Sunday is race day, which is crazy. Anyway, as always, I will keep you updated as and when, but for now I really need to dash. Bye! Hello, it's about 6:15 and I have absolutely no motivation to go for a run, but I know that I should. The weather today has been completely all over the place, from sun to rain, back to sun, back to rain. When I was coming home, one side of the sky was blue and clear and the other side of the sky was grey and cloudy. So who knows what I'm going to experience out there. I need to somehow get the motivation. I really want to do 10 kilometers without stopping. That's kind of what I had planned for today. And then this is the last one. Just a 10K today, just. A half marathon on Sunday, and then I never have to run again if I don't want to. So I'm going to try and get changed and warm up and get ready to go. I'm gonna have some sweets to like give me some energy, hopefully. I think I'm gonna go out with my jacket, which honestly I probably don't need, but I can feel a cold coming on. I could since my Friday run, and I really, really need to not have a cold on Sunday. I'd be fuming if I am sick. So I think I'd rather just go with the jacket, be a bit warmer, and that's it. Also because I am thinking of bringing and wearing the jacket potentially on race day. Because basically I remember from the 10K, we spend a lot of time from when you have to drop everything and everyone off until the start. I think for the winter run, that was about 45 minutes of us just standing in line. And also I remember at the end being freezing trying to find Wayne and, get out. So I think having that with me, even though it won't be as cold obviously as February, I think it'll just be a good idea. So if I get too warm on this run, I can wrap it around myself and then get familiar with that again as well, because I don't think I've done that since the winter run. Okay, it is exactly 6:15. Let's see what time I get out. I'm expecting the run and warm up and everything to be about 1.5 hours. So if I can get out of here by 6:30, I should be home by about 8. That's kind of ish what I'm thinking. Let's do it. Wow, it's so dark. Great running conditions. I'll talk about it in a moment. It's 7:45, so a bit earlier than I was expecting. This was really good, but I am very warm. So gonna do all the things and we'll chat to you later. Yay! Good morning. It's the next day. I came home and, did all the things, and by that time Wayne was home, so we just spent the rest of the evening together. The run felt okay. I did keep wanting to stop, but I think I just always want to stop when I'm running. But I pushed through and I did get to 10 kilometers. And around the third, I could hear the voice from Strava saying that my runs were under 7, as in each kilometer, which to me did not make sense. I didn't feel like I was going faster, but it seemed to consistently be under 7 for the next few kilometers. And so by the time I was nearing 10, I was really close to maybe not beating my record of the winter run, but very close to it. So I thought, right, I'm gonna really push. The thing is, I started pushing too early. I was properly, it felt like I was properly sprinting. Bear in mind, this is at the end of, almost 10 kilometers. But I really pushed too early, so I couldn't get to the 10 kilometer mark, but I didn't let myself stop running until I heard the voice. That bit was really tough. The sprint felt amazing. The sprint felt really good, and I wasn't actually feeling anything. But by the time I was I'm not gonna make it to 10, then having to continue running until I hit the 10, that was hard. And as a result, I did then stop to walk once I heard the voice say 10 kilometers. I did run a little bit more in the 11th, but really not anywhere near as much. And I know that I could have if I hadn't pushed myself so much at the end of the 10th. I did feel that my knee was a little bit sore, not terrible, but a little bit. And now that I've sort of got home and had about 12 hours, it's definitely, the ITBS is back, which is not fun. So we are absolutely going to rest it over the coming week. And really try to avoid anything intense. I'm going to have a look at the details, but I'm going to change my battery first because it's about to die. Also, before I have a look at it, I could feel that my toes were a little bit sore. It was also very wet. My shoes are not waterproof, apparently. I did enjoy having the more sort of autumnal weather. Clearly that works much better for me. But my feet were very wet and my toes were a little bit sore. And when I got home, again, I'll insert a picture. It was very bloody and wet and it just wasn't fun. And I can feel now that the cuts or whatever that were created are there and hurt. Not terribly, but I can feel them. Okay, so this was my fastest 10K according to Strava, but again, we'll check about compared to the winter run. My average tempo for the 11 kilometers was 7 per kilometer, but as I say, the 11th was much slower than everything else, so it probably would have been under 6. And in the end, I was out for just under an hour 20. It was an hour 17. Oh my gosh! Actually, the 10K was faster than I realized. It was 1 hour, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. And I know that my winter run was 1 hour 8, but I don't know what the seconds were. I didn't realize. I thought it was like closer to 109 or 110. Okay, my winter run was 108.52. What was this one? 108.38. This was my fastest ever 10K. That's so exciting. That's crazy. Like, where did that come from? How is that possible? Crazy. And it was my second fastest 5K. Again, not compared to the winter run because I don't have the details for that. But this 5K was 33 minutes and 46 seconds, which actually I'm very pleased with. I am shocked. Like, how did this happen? Okay, so my speeds... 6:52, 7:04, 6:28. That was the third one where I was like, what is going on? 6:50, 6:55, 7, 6:43, 7:02, 6:58, 6:37, 8:28. 8:28 is the one where I did quite a bit of walking. I just don't understand, like, where this energy came from. It must have been from the weather. But, yeah, crazy. So that's the graph. And I just want to see the speed down here. Oh, wait, hang on. So when I was sprinting for those couple of, 100 meters or so, it was 4:18, very quick. 4:18, crazy. And it's interesting because I did notice that kind of running I actually prefer in terms of it's more fun for me, but obviously it's more exhausting and so I can't do it for as long. And I'm thinking maybe once I'm sort of post this race and have taken a bit of a break from running, maybe I'll focus on that, just speeding up, because I don't like running, as I've mentioned many a time. And so I go slow because it's the only way to make it bearable for me. I don't feel like I'm dying all the time if I go slow. But actually doing that sprinting, it feels more fun. It feels more like, oh, yes. But anyway, that's a later sort of thing to think about. Also yesterday, I started looking at sort of the meal plan for the 48 hours before, because that's when you're meant to start carb loading. I'll share details about that potentially. Not that I'm private about it or anything, like I just Googled stuff on the internet. It was very hard to find vegetarian like meal ideas. But I've built up a list of like, this is potentially what I can have Friday breakfast, Friday lunch, Friday supper, snacks, that kind of thing. I still haven't looked at the participant guide fully. I still haven't like thought about my goals. I still haven't, filled in the bib. There's a lot I still haven't done. I haven't checked my race journey. And I think Wayne just messaged me to say that there's potentially a tube strike on, so that would not be ideal. Also, we are so close to hitting my goal. By the time you see this, obviously, race day will be over, but I am 14 pounds away from hitting my goal. So I'm hoping that someone can just, one person or 3 people or 5 people between them can donate that amount. That would be so cool. So keeping my fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm very annoyed about this ITBS coming back. I really need to look after it, but I will leave you here for now and I will try and sort of pop in whenever I can over the course of the next week. I'll try and do some strength training, not tonight though, but I will see you soon, I'm sure. Yay! This feels like a really good run to end on. Yes, it was really tough and I wasn't sure I was going to make it. Yes, I stopped at 10 and I maybe should have kept going, but the speed is exciting to me. So yeah, and I did it. I did end up doing 10K without stopping. So mentally, that fight of, keeping going, I did that much. So hopefully the energy of race day will help. All right, I'll see you all later. Hello, I wanted to come on here and share 2 more things about the run. Number 1, that I can't believe I forgot to mention, around, I think it was between the 2nd and 3rd kilometer, although it might have been a bit later, I was running, as I do, and there was this somewhat older man. I wouldn't say he was old necessarily, but I would say maybe late 60s, early 70s. And he sort of looked at me as I was passing and went, yay, like with a big smile on his face. And that carried me through, I would say, for probably at least 1 kilometer. Like, it just brought me so much joy. I thought it was such a sweet gesture. And definitely the first few 100 meters, that was all I was thinking about. And then when I was thinking again about how much I wasn't enjoying the run, I would think about him just standing there applauding me, and it would give me another boost. So that was fantastic. And also made me realize, like, that's what the race is going to be, right? There's going to be people applauding all along or cheering or whatever. So I'm really hoping that will be energy that can carry me through. And then second of all, I think on Monday I mentioned that my knee was just a little bit sore. The like ITBS pain was back, and it was still a little bit sore all of yesterday. It wasn't terrible, and like in the night it wasn't that bad, but it was there. I could tell that it was there. Whereas today I've woken up and there's nothing. So I'm gonna try and do some exercise. I've got the day off today. So I'm gonna try and do some strength training today just to make sure everything's as good as it can be. But I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that by Sunday we'll be okay. As I mentioned, it is my day off today, so not just am I hoping to do some strength training, I'm also really hoping to work through like anything pre-race day that I want to do. I think on my way home I'm gonna go shopping for all the food that I've got planned for the weekend. I'm gonna go through my goals, I'm gonna go through, make sure that all the information's on the bib, I'm gonna make sure the app is ready to go, there's gonna be all sorts, hopefully. So I will keep you posted about all that. I also think this video is going to be quite long because I think I'm going to try and fit everything in pre-race day into this video and then have race day obviously as its own. So I'm going to leave you for now and I will catch up with you a bit later on, hopefully. Yay! Hello, so I did do some strength training earlier today, which was good. I mean, it wasn't super long, but it felt good, I think. I just don't enjoy doing it. I read through the participant guide, I got myself onto the app, I basically feel I've got everything organised. I made a list of things I want to give Wayne for him to give to me either during the race or at the end. And I started planning my route. And then I saw the announcement, which I had already sort of seen from Wayne yesterday, but I hadn't believed it. Today, the Big Half posted about it. And that is that there's going to be a tube strike on Sunday, which is just wonderful. So not only does that probably double our journey time, it also means that I need to allow A for, busier buses and stuff, or trains or whatever, but B, busier roads. So I think I already had planned to sort of aim to get there around 9:15. I think I'm still gonna let that be my aim, but whatever the bus journey or train journey says it's going to be, I think I'm going to like double it or something. So it's gonna be an earlier start than I would have liked and then what I was hoping for. But I just need to make sure I go to bed on time on Saturday night. I feel good about everything else, it's just annoying about that. I made my lists, I've made my goals, I've made my, what I can control, what I can influence, and what I can't control lists based off Philly Bowden. I haven't yet done my bib, I do need to do that. I feel more in control today than I have been feeling. I probably will share my goals at some point and these lists and other things I've had in my head and on paper now as well, but not right now. I'm just so ready for race day, to be honest. And I have no idea. It's so unpredictable what the weather's gonna be like. Every day it changes. It's either gonna be sunny, it's gonna be cloudy, or it's gonna be rainy, or it's gonna be all three. It has consistently said it'll be between 15 and 20 degrees. I'm hoping it's on the cooler end, but sort of anywhere in that range is pretty comfortable, I would say. Or at least what I'm used to with the training I've done the last few weeks and months. So yeah, we will see what happens. I will chat to you as and when, but we're getting close. We are getting close. And I'm so close as well with the donations. I'm £9 away, so I'm really hoping we can make it before race day. We shall see. All right, I'll catch you later. Hello. After work today, I went to the shops and I bought all the healthy goodies for my pre-run meal plans. Got some frozen fruit so I can make smoothies, got loads of bananas, avocados, spinach, potatoes, that kind of thing. Just all the goodness that I could. So I think tonight I'm gonna make the smoothie and then maybe have that for breakfast and potentially breakfast or snack on Saturday as well. It's crazy to me how close we are to race day. I've reached my goal, which is insane. Again, I've surpassed £1,000, which is just beyond me. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Sunday, but I'm also nervous. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel on the day. Obviously I'll be excited, but like physically and mentally, like how am I going to perform? How is my body going to be? But I am very keen to just do it, I'm in that mindset now of like, let's go for it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to update you on for now. I don't know if I mentioned about the tube strike. I think I did, but basically we're not sure. I think I'm gonna have to leave much earlier than I'd anticipated. I think I did talk about this already. So I'm gonna leave it here and I may see you tomorrow or I may not see you again and see you Saturday night probably for my last minute jitters and preparation. But I think that might be in my next vlog. So this could be the end. This could be the end. Oh, mad. 2 days. Tomorrow, and then it's the race. Crazy. I keep hoping that the strikes are going to be called off, but it's not looking likely. So that's not ideal. I've been eating the foods that I had set out to eat. I think I'm going to document it all and then share it maybe after the run or something at some point. I've definitely been feeling quite nervous the last few days. and also quite excited. But there's definitely quite a significant nervousness that I've been feeling. But equally, I feel like I'm going to do a good job. Like, I feel I'm gonna exceed my own expectations. And I don't know if that's true. I might end up really struggling, and you know, that's very much a possibility. But whenever I imagine sort of the crowds and being there, I feel like that is just gonna give me so much energy. Like, that's what I think is going to fuel me more than anything else. The only annoying thing is that the weather keeps getting warmer from what I'm seeing. So it's now saying mostly sunny with very few clouds and sort of 20, 21 degrees. I will manage. Luckily I've practiced, but it's not what I would want. But yeah, I'm nervous. I just can't believe, like, this is it. This is it. Not yet, but soon. I do feel already like I've done quite a lot to set myself up. I did my bib, I don't know if I told you that. I've tried to plan everything as much as I can, but tomorrow is the day of making sure everything is ready and planned and as good as it can be. I want to go back over my travel journey. I want to lay out my clothes, my change of clothes, my food, just everything. Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I just can't believe I'm actually... I think I can't believe that it's here. I feel like that is wild to me. And perhaps because I did spend so long gearing up for it. You know, it was like over 6 months. I think it was February, maybe early March, that I said I would do this. And it seemed so impossible for so long. For so much of that period, I just didn't think it would even be close to happening. And now it's in 2 days' time. In 48 hours, I'll be done. I will be done. I will be home. I will probably be having supper. Crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here, and the next time you see me will be in my race day video. Crazy! Ah!